All right, this video is going to be trigger warning a little bit. I'm not going to get into too many details, but I feel obligated to kind of just give you guys a rundown of, kind of what's been going on in my case. I know everything, okay? I am part of my bloodline as a chosen one is I'm a direct, obviously, 144,000 is a direct descendant, a direct bloodline of the line of Jesus Christ, okay? So you already operate off of a high vibing frequency, but the amount of shit that I have had to turn over and alchemize, I mean, at so much information from my King, my Heavenly Father, so much information that I have been alchemizing, turning it around, and I'm getting so good at turning the negative into positive, and I think that is why the transformation on me is just so incredibly insane. I know that my vibration right now and my frequency is off the charts, and I'm like really, really high up there right now. I mean, maybe I can hear God's heartbeat. And I'm not just saying that to brag. Don't take me like I'm being arrogant, okay? I'm not saying it like that. I'm saying it because the amount of information that I've had to alchemize has been insane, and at an incredibly quick rate, okay? So I had a projection series with the narcissist. Every now and then my ex will turn into like a narcissist, okay? So, and this is like the projection start. And that's where I lost it. This new version of me, don't play, okay? Before I would be offended and I would just go round and round and get all stressed out. But no, not this new version of me that turns power into pain and betrayal, backstab, all that heartbreak stuff. I'm able to turn it around quickly. I know pretty much everything. I think I even said some things to my ex last night in this confrontation that he wasn't even aware of. Okay, but I don't really like to talk about everything. I think I will as the story goes on, but there was so much that was said out of my lips that I think I even surprised him. But I do know everything. He has no idea because I have graced him. He's the only one that I talk to, actually, in my family. So I know it's my sister. I know it's my niece. I know that maybe my brother-in-law, my mother, and my ex-coworker, and my stepdad. I know that those are key players, okay? And I know that this has been happening since I've been 4. I know that witchcraft has been involved. That's what was used to break up my marriage. I know that, that there's threesomes, foursomes, fivesomes. It's a family affair. Sex cult, if you know what I'm saying. And this is why I don't want to say too many things. It's a kind of a trigger warning, and I like to keep things positive on my videos because the story will be made public, and I would like to kind of just reserve all of that stuff for, I guess, more of a one-on-one setting, or unless God tells me to tell the graphics and the details, I will. I know he has before in the past, but I would just much rather keep my platform encouraging, because that's who I am right now. All of this pain is why I am this vibration right now. It's because that is my magic, and I will tell you why. It is because I love, if I had any pride, it would be the pride that I have in my pure heart. I pride myself in keeping a pure heart. Once you do your shadow work, you are like squeaky clean. You do not want to get any bitterness, resentment, hurt feelings, unforgiveness. That's what makes your heart tainted. And I want to keep my heart pure, because there's a scripture in Matthew that says, I think it's the Beatitudes, blessed are those with a pure heart, because they will see God. I like to see God. This is why I have all of my information. This is why I am the version of myself today. I've always been very analytical and very communicative. I have an art for words. I love communication. I am kind of a linguistic nerd. And, my ex is the only one that has seen this side of me. And because he's the only one that I talk to. He's actually, because I'm so introverted, he is the only one that was in my life, and now it's nobody. So, but that's fine, because it's not going to be nobody forever. And I can't say nobody because I have a badass army of spiritual, the spiritual rank behind me, ancestors, angels, spirit guides, and of course the Most High. And I am very grateful for who I am. I am thankful for this journey. I have forgiven. I'm so over it. Like, I'm like, okay. I'm like, there's nothing that can happen to me, because God has written this story, and he uses those closest to you. Because you, as a chosen one, you walk in the shoes and in the footsteps of Jesus Christ. So Jesus said, and you might have heard it in my previous videos, your enemies will be those in your own household. Okay. So yes, even though I've been estranged from my family since 21, I am now 51. We're estranged, but I wasn't estranged from my ex. So if anything that happens, it's the heartbreak and the turn and the alchemy comes from him. But I have forgiven my family, and I'm just letting God do what God does and execute his judgment. I have not retaliated. I have become something totally different in this whole process, and God used it for my good. That the enemy meant it for evil, but God turned it around for my good, and he is good, and it is good. And I am healthy and well, and I'm the best version of myself in spite of all of the pain. Just being able to get so many downloads. I mean, so many downloads. And there's days that I cried alone all day. I'd be crying, and just really working through just to kind of digest it. And then boom. And then and now it just gets easier and easier. It's like a food processor. You just put that shit in there, and then boom. It like makes it, what do you want? Salsa? You want stir fry? What we gonna do with this? So yeah, I'm just kind of processing all of that hurt. And it's now power, and it's now glow, and now I'm vibing super high. I mean, my frequency is amazing right now, and I'm able to manifest pretty quickly. But I am content with my life right now. That's why God says, if you can be trusted with a little, you can be trusted with a lot. And that's why he strips everything away, because you start at the bottom with nothing. Everything's stripped. And then you're down with the lowest of the low people that have nothing. I can go down there and vibe with them and relate with them and share light with them in the darkest, deepest places, because I have been there. And then eventually you get higher and higher. But never do I ever want to lose my humility, because I'm so thankful to God. Because if it wasn't for humility, he wouldn't be alive in me, turning all of this in and making me this version of who I am due to all of this pain. And I thank God the Most High just for my story. And I never really thought myself to be significant, until all of this happened, until I got called into purpose. And I've had to process, like, making chop suey and making magic and alchemy, and that's my alchemy. That is my magic, to be able to turn negative into positive. And I don't even react negatively anymore. I'm mellow and calm, and it has been for my good. And one more thing that I want to share. So this has been a process. I've been in my car for 7 months. So I have been receiving downloads for 7 months and been starting my alchemy journey for 7 months long. I've been holding all of this stuff in because it's not in anymore. It's just in. There's knowledge, but it's not here. It's here. And I have all of this knowledge about everything that has been done wrong against me from my family and this whole thing of injustice, and I haven't said a word. And my ex wouldn't even know that I knew what I knew. But this new version of me, because You can no longer push my buttons and manipulate me. I have conquered the dark side. I have conquered those demons down there. And now when they come at me, that's why God tests you. He'll put you back in the room after he's processed you a little bit, and then boom, he's gonna manifest demons, the same demons that used to freaking get you in a frenzy and a timsy and all pissed off and flustered. They can't push my buttons or project on me. I kind of just started reading the mail. I read the mail to my ex while he was projecting on me. And I think his jaw dropped a little bit, but I haven't said too many things. I haven't said too many things, maybe here and there, maybe a couple videos of this and that, but there's, I know everything. So it was kind of cool that I had my poker face on for so long, but it wasn't that. I was just healing. I was learning my magic, and I was learning who I was, and I was just learning to trust the process. So I wanted to share that with you all. This is my third video for the day, and I'm at the beach, my favorite place, and I really thank everybody for following my story, and this was more of a testimony, although I didn't get into too many details, and you know why. But because I like to keep it positive, but I forgive my family, and I'm happy for this version of me. If it wasn't for that pain, I wouldn't be me, who I am right now, and I'm completely in love with this version of me. God did amazing things. Kudos to the genius that I love, my king. And with you all, thank you too. So I'll be on sooner than later, I hope.